Hey, we have returned with Gamebound, playing A Penny for My Thoughts, and we are not quite halfway through the game, so
We're
we're gonna
close.
try
We're
to
close.
do the rest in 45 minutes. Let's go! So, we just started with Seth again. His memory trigger was searing pain from losing the tip of my finger. I had said, I had implied by my question that you were in a game of Five Finger Fillet, or Five Finger whatever it's called. I don't know if that's
And I
actually the
thought I
right.
could win.
Yeah, and you
Right.
thought you would. With the triad, specifically.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so my
And
two questions.
mm-hmm.
Then, yeah,
Yep.
ready for this? Did you expect to get info on the triads while acting as a double agent to find the contacts who got away during your botched mission?
I was kind of honestly, I was kind of hoping for a double agent thing. So was I expecting to get information? Yes. And it went better than expected.
Are you ready for my second question?
The fact that you're having that face on you makes me worried. What?
Were you surprised when you found out the prize for the winner of Five Finger Fillet would win the prize of their latest captive, a certain mentor of yours?
Oof.
Wait. I thought we established that I got away at the end of the last one still, though.
Yes, you did, but I think the implication here is that they managed to capture, maybe even as a separate
at
thing,
a later date,
your
yeah.
mentor, and you're going undercover with the triads to try to win her in this Five Finger Fillet competition.
Yes, and I wasn't going to disappoint her again.
Nice, love it. Take us on a journey, Seth.
Okay, the triads are an interesting bunch. I'm gonna try and be not so verbose on this one because I went long last time.
Yep.
Triads are an interesting bunch. They took it. After seeing my performance last time, they believed me that I had been expunged from the agency, which made it so much more surprising that they took me in so readily. But I guess, when you've got information, they'll take about anyone. So yeah. And they berated me a little bit at first, chided me, harassed me, seeing how I acted. And then to prove my worth, they pulled out the knife. I thought they were going to have me kill someone. I'm not going to lie. But then they showed me what to do and how to play the game. And I went along, laughed, and then they handed it to me. And I got a little nervous, and I can't quite remember what exactly I did next. Caleb, you remember?
Well, you obviously attempted the Five Finger Fillet game and stabbed the knife right through your middle finger, or at least the tip of your middle finger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is what I did. And the weirdest part is I feel like I did it on purpose. Because if I wanted to make myself look like I knew it, because I had to, well, you said the winner got the girl.
Mm-hmm.
I had to make myself look a little bit incompetent at first. Because I had to make them believe that they could take it.
Hustling.
That they could win. Yeah. So I had to make myself look a little incompetent. It just did cost
It's like trying to hustle someone in Russian roulette. Like,
well, I mean, I had to make it look like it was reasonable that this isn't going to happen.
Yeah.
So I did that. It hurt a lot of blood. But they told me if I did it for 30 seconds straight. No, it was in 30 seconds. I had to get, let's say 100 or so stabs.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when they pulled her out. I mean, I knew she was there already. She had been kidnapped. We had our sources to say where she was. And so when I saw her, it lit a fire inside me. And I don't quite remember if this next time they gave me three tries. I don't quite remember if the next one did it. Jordan, was I able to actually get it the second time? with one finger already bleeding.
You weren't able to get it immediately the second time because you misjudged how much pain you would be in and how much the pain would throw you off as you were going through the second game. So you got a little unintentionally sloppy with the second one.
Yeah, that was right. Like, oh, and I gotta give out pennies. Luckily, I just nicked myself the second time,
I certainly
That's-
don't Carl myself.
but it definitely wasn't great. And the sight of blood was more disheartening because they said if I failed the last time, they'd kill her, and I knew that. So, oh wait, I have to make this a moral dilemma. Is this the moral dilemma that if I fail, she dies? Is that good enough of a moral dilemma?
It's not really a choice, right? It's you try hard and or you
Well, more
fail,
just so
right?
like, oh, so I'll go. Wait, how do I make this a moral dilemma?
Well,
but
so
they-
keep in
oh,
mind,
oh.
I don't think it makes sense for it to be you try again and she dies because the idea here was a competition between
Competition, yeah.
multiple people,
Oh.
right?
Okay, I gotta think of how do I make this a moral dilemma?
Yeah, so the idea I was kind of thinking was like winner gets to have her.
Oh, yeah. They didn't tell me I had to. They didn't tell me that would be a public display.
Ooh, yeah. No, that makes sense. That makes sense because you're just assuming, oh, I can take her. But they did, yeah, and they meant that, but like they meant it proverbially, metaphorically.
Yeah, and that's kind of when I realized that. And if anything, I think, how do I word this in a non-weird way? The thought of someone else violating her meant I had to get this right. Because if anything, she knew that I would at least do my best to respect her as much as possible in the situation. And so one more time, 5-finger fillet. I mean, I wasn't the only one bleeding at this point, but it was the first one to 100 stabs at 30 or whatever I gave, whatever the certain amount of time they had to go to. And I went for it. Caleb, what happened?
And a couple of stabs in, you realized you were not winning this game. And so that's when you threw the knife directly at the boss of the Triad's throat.
Jordan, is that what happened?
Oh yeah, it is. That's too cool to pass up.
Well, because then it's well, that I did still face the moral dilemma. Okay, yeah, Caleb.
Right, because the moral dilemma is the answer is I can't take either of these options. I have to just go. Yeah.
So yeah, I threw the knife and well, I guess that's just where the memory ends. So I'm not sure how you finish that up without me taking more actions.
Yeah, I mean, I think well, I mean, you could just describe how whether or not they capture or kill you or not kill you, obviously, but like,
Well, I think
like how do they respond? Are they able to? Because I think the idea would be you're throwing the knife and then trying to get her out.
Yeah, I'll go. I have an idea. I'll go with this. They definitely didn't expect it. Luckily for me, I was dealing with lackeys, and they were dealing with a professional, as professional as I can be anyway. So though I may have been nicked and bruised, they were too. So throwing the knife took out the one person there who was competent, and me and my superior were able to escape.
So you're like, did you shout Spanish Inquisition when you threw it?
No. So I think that's a good way to close that off then. Yeah, when I think of here, think of English.
Do you
Don't
guys
think of
know the
searing
lyrics to the
pain.
knife song, the knife game?
Don't think there is lyrics unless people added some.
What do you mean you don't think there are lyrics to the knife game?
I mean, I don't think they originally came with lyrics, I guess is my point.
I don't know anything about it.
Or did I think of singing? I remember having. So what's the moral dilemma? Is just like having to. I remember
Having to risk everything to save
risk everything
my mentor.
to save my mentor. Yeah, we'll go with that.
All right. Well, I have like 5 pennies, so I think I need to go next.
Yeah.
Do you regret anything about your actions in the mission?
I lost our inside connection. I threw away our inside connection.
Mm-hmm.
Then I threw the knife.
I thought you were gonna.
I really
say,
like that knife.
I thought you were gonna say I lost my chance to have sex.
No, oh my gosh!
It's just the theme of this. I mean, it's spies, right?
Mine has just been murder so far. So
you know, we could change that.
I was gonna say all of these have been murder in the beginning, and I guess we're gonna go sex the second one. I don't know what the third one's gonna be. Genocide? Who knows?
Okay. Well, it's yours. So roll
Memory
on
trigger.
that table.
and if we get
the
one, that
first one's death. The second one is sex. The third one is taxes. The 3 unavoidabilities of the spot.
Oh my gosh.
That's actually amazing. So if we roll a 1, we already got. We're just gonna roll again.
Spy movie's called Death, Sex, and Taxes.
Well, it's just life, death, and taxes because, like, reproduction, right?
Yeah.
It's just the same 3.
That's the name of this spy movie.
Nope. Okay, roll again.
Okay, roll again.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, there you go. All right. The smell of my wife's perfume. There we go.
Bop, bop.
I wrote that one, so.
Call a mission where you faced a moral dilemma.
All right.
Okay, I think I've got a question.
Yeah, go ahead. Go for it.
Were you expecting the agency to ask you to bring your wife on this mission? Oh, was it a surprise? Was it a surprise?
Yeah,
when
I was going to say, no, it was. I was not expecting this.
Okay.
I don't know how I can answer. Yeah. It was certainly a surprise. My wife has literally never been involved in any of my work and isn't even a secret agent. So, like, she has like a normal job. So I was very confused. Jordan?
Did you just now? Did you mention something about your wife? Not you said your wife isn't an agent.
Yeah. Like she's just like a normal civilian, and
okay.
Yeah.
Were you relieved to find out that your wife knew that you were an agent all these years?
Of course, there was certainly a sense of relief that comes from not having to lie or hide anything anymore. And honestly, I was just as relieved to finally find out what she did.
Oh, I could take this in a cup. Oh, I think I have to take it this way.
Uh-oh.
Were you expecting? How do I make this a yes? Were you surprised to find out your wife was the target?
Of course I was. And trying to think of how this ties in with my story so
I already
far.
know what the moral dilemma is.
Yep, that's why I'm like this.
Obviously, yeah,
I was
that's a
like,
pretty
there's
clear
no
one.
other way I can take this.
Yeah. Of course I was. And I had no idea that she had been sleeping with my old mentor.
Oh, double dilemma.
That's
Right,
a
so-
double betrayal.
My wife had been involved in the corrupt web that my old mentor had been involved in. Her position as a let's see, what's a job that you could be involved in?
Money laundering sort of stuff.
Yeah. She, let's say her job running a storefront had really been a lie all these years, just a literal front for my old mentor's corrupt scams and schemes and dealings and drug runs and whatever else he did. So there was a mix of betrayal and fear at what I was going to have to do next. I was sitting in my car watching the storefront, the tinted windows, keeping myself hidden, obviously, as I scoped out the mission. And I was frozen. I had no idea. The base had given me my mission, take her out. She was the last of the major linchpins that would keep this operation running in the background. How do I kill my own wife, right? So I sat in the car, frozen with indecision. What did I do next, Seth?
He tried to send me something really stupid, so now I'm distracted.
I was like, was there something I said?
No.
That's something I said. I'll send it to you too, to Caleb.
So I saw that and I'm like, so you're sitting outside the storefront, waiting for your watching for your wife, just frozen. Is that what it was?
Yeah. I'm just like sitting in my car, like not sure what to do. Right? Do I just walk in and shoot her? Like, this is terrible.
Well, the thing is, since we established you were taking her on a mission, you probably what you're doing in there is you sit there, you compose yourself, take a deep breath, and recite the lie the agency told you to tell your wife as you head to the location.
Say the first part of that again.
So you take a deep breath, compose yourself, and kind of repeat to yourself the lie that the agency told you to tell your wife. But right before she comes in and you guys head off to the location.
So I'm gonna go in and tell her a lie, and then we're gonna leave somewhere together.
Yeah, because one of the questions, you're bringing her on the.
Yeah, of course.
So you're acting like she's part of it to kind of get her away from the storefront, sort of idea.
Yes. Okay. Is that what I did, Jordan?
So Seth's proposal was you followed the agency's plan to fake her out and get her off the premises?
Yeah.
I think you were about to engage in the plan when you suddenly got distracted with the delicious, freshly baked cookies that your wife had just made and the smell of them as you walked in through the door.
Yeah, I'm gonna choose that one. So I walk in. I'm about to probably do what Seth was saying I should do. That's probably is the thing I'm supposed to do. But instead, I get distracted by the fresh, warm cookies that she's made for the customers, right? And she's set it out on the counter, and I take one and we start chatting about our day, and it's basically the last real conversation I'll ever have with her. So I kind of soak it in. And while I'm having the conversation, I kind of think to myself, do I actually care? Like, I remember literally killing my mentor and feeling nothing but satisfaction. I've worked for my government for years, and for what exactly? To be handed this sort of thing? What if I don't care about the mission so much as... Yeah, sure, my wife betrayed me, but... No, my wife betrayed me. That's what I remember. And my hand clenches, starts to go for my gun. What do I do next, Jordan?
I think you go for your gun, but you're trembling. You unholster your gun, but you fumble it, and it lands on the ground.
Is that
And
really
your
what
wife
happened to
notices.
Seth? Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the route Jordan went last time. And you start to go for your gun, but as you do, your wife walks up to you, just gives you a big hug, and you get the smell of her perfume and think to yourself, I can't do this. It's like,
Yeah.
sure, your mentor was your mentor, but this is the love of your life, sort of
Mhm.
thing.
That's what I'm going to choose. Take a penny, Seth. And I just kind of lose myself in the embrace. And that's when she takes my gun
I
and
was kind of hoping for that.
points it at my chest and fires. I hear a ringing. I hear sirens. I hear more gunshots, and I am whisked away by an ambulance.
You still got 3 pennies, dude. You
I know.
can't end it this quickly.
This is going to be a longer sequence, right?
Okay. I'm just letting you know, like, you can't end it yet.
I know. I hear the sound of my boss calling me back to consciousness as I slowly come to, and he's saying, "You let her go. You let her go. Why'd you let her go?" And I shake my head and don't know what he's talking about. Everything's fuzzy. I was maybe even losing my memory a little bit then. But he says, she escaped. She's out of Miami, out of Florida, out of the country. And you're going to have to fix the mistake you made, because when they tore apart that storefront, they found way more than a drug run, than a drugs, what's the word for this?
Drug front,
Drug.
drug operation.
Yeah, whatever other word might be for that.
Can you tell we don't do drugs, kids?
Um,
Probably not, based on our responses.
yeah, and way more than a drug operation.
They also found a circus.
This is an issue of national security, and you need to leave immediately and track her down. You're the only one who can do this. You're gonna take a day to recover.
A day?
Patch you back up. Luckily, the shot didn't hit any vital organs, but you're the only one who can do this.
I got that, Jordan.
Got a blood transfusion, and you're ready to go.
Plus bulletproof vest, probably.
Yeah, exactly. What do I do, Jordan? When presented with his choice from my boss. Not a choice, but a command.
I think you're emboldened by the rage induced by the hole in your chest, and I think you are ready to sever ties with this woman, who's literally blasted a hole into your chest, and who's betrayed you on multiple occasions and multiple times, and you're ready to do what it takes for your country, because it's clear to you now that she never really cared enough about you.
Is that really what happened, Seth?
Real quick, I forgot to take a penny at the last one, so I'm gonna put a penny on mine real quick.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna say you become a clown for the circus that they found in her thing. See, the only other option besides you pursuing her is to just like retire and become a farmer or something like that. So I'm trying to think of what else you could have done.
That's
When you're
fine.
You inform her and join her.
I was gonna say, if the answer is I do it, then I do it, right?
Let me think for a second. So
The main thing that I was wondering about is the motivation, right? Like, am I ready to serve my country? I don't know. I don't know if I am.
that's a good point. I was
Is
thinking
this
of that
just
too.
revenge?
Where are you currently? Are you in the hospital?
Yeah.
You get revenge on her and your country by killing her and then doing the job yourself.
Because you have to still be an agent at the next one. So I can't go the full betrayal route.
Yeah.
I think the easiest is to just go with what Jordan said. I can't think of anything that doesn't
agree.
lead us down a road that's hard to come back from.
Yeah, I'm gonna yes and that, Jordan, and basically say, yeah, I mean, I certainly am gonna go on board with this, but I think there is a thing in the back of my mind that is, I am doing it for my country, but I'm also doing it for myself. Because the only reason it ever really became personal for me with my mentor was because we worked together. It's not, it wasn't so much my wife. My wife didn't even know who I was, right? She wasn't directly betraying me, but now she has. And now it's time to go for payback. And a little bit of justice. So here's a penny. So I head to Colombia, and it's there where I find my wife on the run from the United States government, holed up in a fancy hotel. I'm trying to decide if my wife is the Latina all along. I don't know if we need to tie it in that.
We don't need to
That'd be
tie it in.
hilarious, actually.
Because at this point I don't really know. Okay, here's my decision point. So I track her down to this hotel. I think it is the same hotel, whether or not it's the same person, right? Just we're in the same country, Jordan. And I happen to find some info on her, right? Something leaks to me, and here's my decision point. Both what is it and what do I do about it? Like what is the truth behind who my wife actually is? What was the thing she was doing that was threatening national security? And then what do I do about that? Like how do I act on that information? I'm struggling for that first answer.
What was she actually doing that was a threat to national security?
I'm assuming at the very least it ties into this like weird regime in Colombia that we've said exists or whatever. But
she was given I do some security compliance stuff. Like the obvious things are just the things that I know can go wrong.
Yeah.
She was using access to you to leak information to the Colombians.
So it wasn't about the drugs at all. She just...
Well, there was drugs too. It's just that she knew you. She had ways of getting access to your phones or your devices, and through that could essentially leak information, like very important information out. And so what they did is when they found at her place was like a bunch of information that was pulled from like your phone and stuff like that.
I like it. What do I do about it?
Sorry, like in terms of what? Like that's the information that
like what's my decision point though? Like what do I actually like that I was having trouble thinking of what it could be, so I was just kind of mainly asking for help on that. But then what do I do when I find out this information? How do I act?
Well, this would have been way back when she first found out that she betrayed you. That's when you would have found it out.
Yeah. Okay. So I get to Colombia. I'm tracking her down. I think. Yeah.
I have an idea. you realize she was since she was able to access your information, you think, wait, I can access hers as well. I can essentially use that to track her now. And you use the information like they have like tracking stuff on phones. You can like share your location and stuff.
Yeah.
You're able to use your in on her, like to actually track down where she is.
It turns out that your wife was simultaneously great at finding getting all this info to the Colombian people that she's been sending it to, and she's also horrible with technology and never realized how to disable the tracker on her phone.
I mean, with social engineering, you can set something like that up potentially, like saying, "Hey, this is my wife's phone. We want to put this on." Blah 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 blah. So that kind of stuff. That's what I meant.
Sure. Yeah. I think I do that. So here you go, Seth. Here's a penny.
Yay, penny.
And I follow her to Colombia, tracking her by her phone, track her to this hotel. And I think there's a moment that I'm tracking her through the halls, and she is disguising herself as a maid. I think we see a shot of her. She does not look like the Latina that has pointed a gun at Jordan's character. But I catch her in the halls, right, with the costume on, and she sees me, and then she makes a break for it. What do I do, Jordan?
You immediately shoot her in the back.
Is that really what happened, Seth?
No, you immediately shoot her in the head.
I mean, I was gonna say you chase her down. She shot you in the chest. Now you want to do the same to her. Like this can't just be shot in the back. Like, no, she has to know, and she has to like feel the pain you felt, that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
that's what I want. Take a penny, Seth. I chase her down through the halls, and gunshots go off from both of us, right? As we kind of do a spy chase, and we're shooting back and forth. We pass by a hotel room that looks suspiciously familiar, and keep running.
Smells some really good coffee.
Yeah, exactly. Smells some really good coffee. And I finally corner her, probably in like some sort of like janitor's closet or laundry room. She turns a corner she shouldn't, ends up at a dead end. And we're standing there, guns pointed at each other. And she says, I just want you to know, I always loved you. None of this was personal. I loved the time we got to spend together. And I say, that's exactly what he said. And then I shoot her in the chest.
Yeah.
When I think of the smell of my wife's perfume, I remember
getting shot in the chest by her. Also, and I will always love. Chicka-boom!
When I think of the smell of my wife's perfume, I remember the afternoon I killed my wife. What do you regret about your actions in this mission?
Not doing it sooner.
The afternoon I killed my wife.
Doing it sooner.
I think Jordan's next.
Yes. He has a bunch of pennies.
Well, we both have a bunch of pennies. But he also hasn't gone as recent.
Yes. Oh, yeah, you had the same amount of pennies. Go for it, Jordan. Memory trigger.
Oh!
The handle of a knife pressed into my palm. Recall your last mission and the trigger of your amnesia.
Oh, dear. Caleb, you go ahead and start.
All right. The handle of a knife pressed into my palm. So we last left off with you where you were still in the hotel room and you were trying to sweet talk her and she was like, nope. And what was the very last thing that happened with that?
I was left with the moral dilemma of I either basically I either go against my mission and work with this woman to not kill her father, but exact revenge against him by committing some governmental crimes and getting him arrested and getting her elected as the ruler of the nation instead. Give him a bad name, give her a good name, get him thrown in prison and her taken care of and well off and wealthy. Or I do my mission and um, eventually get away from her or try to get away from her and go and kill her father.
So basically, your moral dilemma was like whether or not to compromise.
Yeah.
Well,
Whether or
because
not
she
to
gave him the
compromise.
dilemma. She gave him the dilemma of like, you know what it's like to lose someone. Don't make me lose
Mhm.
someone too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I think I'm gonna go with one of the things that Seth said in the last time we picked up with you. I'm gonna say, was part of your sweet talking just a ruse to slip the knife from your from underneath your pillow and cut your bonds?
Yes, and because women think men are such pigs, it always works.
Oh boy. Oh yeah, I got this question. Did you regret knowing that you had to kill her?
Yes, I did regret knowing it. What can I say? I know how I like my coffee.
I don't.
I don't. I'm trying to think of where to take that, and none of it's good.
Yes.
Like I'm eating the fruit that you hand me.
Let's
Well,
see.
Caleb? Yeah, motivation.
You have action. Did you use the gunshots from the hallway as the perfect moment to strike?
Tied it all together.
Yeah, there it is. Yes, I did. And while it was extraordinarily confusing, I am not one to question fortune when it comes my way, and I took my opportunity and went with it.
Take us
Especially because she hit with the gunshots, she moved her gun away from me, which was the dumbest thing she could have done.
Mm-hmm.
Gunshots went off down the hallway. Odd couple of people run past the doorway.
Well, I mean, the door would have been closed. So.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
suppose so.
Maybe hear shouting or whatever, but yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we hear shouting, we hear gunshots. She pulls her gun away from me towards the door, and I use that very moment to cut the last bit of rope from my hand. Well, wait, hold on.
I had said hidden knife for a reason.
Knife and pillow.
Maybe it's that she started to untie you because she said she was going to help you.
Actually, I think, yeah, it could be that, or actually, I think what it is. Yeah, no, I guess that would have to be it. So she started to untie me. She carefully, with the gun still pointed at me, she untied one, the one further from her, the hand further from her. She untied that. The gunshots go off, and then I use that as my opportunity to reach behind my pillow, grab the knife, and because she's still leaning over, get her in the neck, and then I get back up.
Did that happen?
What do you think happened, Seth? What
Well,
actually
I'm just saying, like, is that something we have to decide, Caleb? Because like I like it, but do we have to decide it?
I don't think we have to decide it. I think it was implicit in my last question, which was the moment to strike, right?
Okay,
Like,
fair enough. Yeah.
yeah, that was the last thing I said. Is like you took that opportunity to
Yeah.
strike.
So I took that opportunity to do that, and so I happened to catch her square in the back of her neck, and she doesn't have much time or ability to respond to that. She collapses, and it's at that moment that I.
And here's the
Yeah.
problem: we've
Oh.
diffused the situation too early.
No, because now I have to figure out how to find my original target, which is her father.
But that's what the question for this is: where the target is.
Where is the target now?
Oh, fair enough.
Also, the target doesn't even need to be her father.
Fair enough.
The story can still evolve to a point where there's something else.
Well, who do you want to ask then? I guess.
Yeah, you have to ask someone specifically.
I've already asked somebody something before, right? In this?
Well, you were going to ask Seth, and then we decided we didn't need to ask.
Yeah, so I haven't done any ask yet. Okay, so Caleb, I'll ask you.
Mm-hmm. Good question.
How did I go about my?
So you certainly
move?
took your classified documents back, right?
Yeah.
And I think you regretfully cleaned up all the blood, all the body, disposed of it as any good agent would.
Called in the cleaners.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, called in the actual maid to finish up any leftovers. And then I have a thought here. And so, remind me, this person who's tied in is the father, the president, his men killed your brother.
Yeah.
That's the idea that we have here.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and I think you just like grab a sniper rifle from your closet and just climb down the fire escape and head to your post.
Which is funny because it was supposed to be a reconnaissance mission at first.
Yeah, I mean things just kind of evolved, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that was what your
I think that's
official.
probably the new like. I contacted headquarters that night,
Yeah.
right? And then they gave
Yep.
me the new.
Mm-hmm. Is that what you do? And that was my suggestion. So.
I think it is. I think that's what I do.
Yeah, because part of this was just kind of like wrapping up the moral dilemma from the second one, right?
Yeah.
And your answer to the moral dilemma was stab her, right?
Stabby, stab. So she did. I will think about coffee tomorrow morning. As for now, I gotta go. I go grab a sniper and I go find him. So I loot her body.
I think this is probably the person you were supposed to kill originally, right? On your first mission, on that mission with your brother, you and him were waiting, right, for the target, and he was like on some sort of like diplomatic thing in the Alps or whatever, right?
Yeah, probably so.
You're here to finish the job.
Yeah, so yeah, I think that's what he says. He's like, all right, time to finish what I should have finished years ago.
No running away this time.
No peeing my paper pants and running away in the snow. This has been a weird penny for my thoughts. Can we just collectively agree that we are not, like, Alyssa and Emily are not allowed to watch this one?
Well, the quickest way to ensure that is to never tell them about it.
Yeah.
They won't watch it on their own, but if we mention it to them, that's when they'll watch it.
They're not
So we
interested.
never mention anything about it. And if they ask any questions, we'll just go, that was fine.
It's
Kind of
good.
boring.
That means you can't make a clip of anything because any clip they watch will be like what the frick did you guys
Fair
do?
enough. Fair enough, yeah. I already have like 3 timestamps, though.
There's gonna be so many questions.
All
I
right,
have a
so
4th.
I take my gun. And I loot her body to find.
You
to
find
see if
3
I
gold
can-
pieces.
I find 3 gold pieces, a diamond ring. No,
Scroll of resurrection.
and I bring her back to life.
Yeah, exactly.
I tie her up and then bring her back to
Oh
life.
no! Oh no!
How the
Who
tables.
can play at this game?
3 can play at this game. 4 can play at this game.
Right.
I'm just like pulling out random games of like Risk and
Anyway,
Trouble.
Yeah, keep going, Jordan.
So I search her for anything that would make it easier to locate her father.
Okay.
And I don't remember. Did I find anything on her? Seth?
you find a phone that happens to have this is what I was gonna go for last time. You find her phone and you notice that it has a fingerprint reader with which you could use to get into it.
I like that. I'm going with it.
Yeah, I wanted to
Partially
say it
because
last
we
time
need
for a reason.
Yeah, partially because we need to get rolling here. Cool. So I use her still somewhat warm corpse, dead fingers.
So weird.
Just not going there. I get access to her phone and I discover his location. And I even discover where he's going. I discover where he's going to be, and I plot out my course. I let headquarters know, and they give me directions, instructions, and additional equipment if needed. Go for my target, and so I get there, and what am I doing while in wait for my? Is that a fun one to play with? Or do I keep extending it a little more?
You have 2 pennies left.
Yeah, I'm trying to. So I get there, and I'm in position, and the time finally comes. I get my shot, and I haven't taken the shot yet, but the shot is lined up. I'm ready to pull the trigger. What happened then, Caleb?
Well, that is, of course, when you see someone next to the El Presidente, you see your brother alive and well.
Yeah, I
his
was gonna do that.
As his like attaché or bodyguard or something. You're not entirely sure what.
Yeah, I think that's what happened.
I was just gonna say that the target was your brother, but that makes just as much. Honestly, it's pretty much just the same.
So I give 1 penny to Kara. And the moment that I the moment that I'm about to take the shot and I notice that it's my brother, I get a radio in my headset from HQ, and they say, Agent Van.
Cannot believe your name is actually that.
They say, Agent Van. We have a
Short for-
critical update to your mission. We've discovered who's really been pulling the strings all along. The president is a stand-in. He's not the mastermind. And you're not going to believe this, but we've discovered that your brother is alive and he's been pulling the strings the whole time. Your new objective is to find him and do whatever it takes to stop him. And I have the shot right here. What did I do, Seth? Or what happened then, Seth? I should say. Not what did I do necessarily. But
I mean, it is what you did, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's
What
the
did
important part
I
that we need
what
to-
did I
yeah.
do? And then
I think you just hesitate. And it's long enough that someone is able to notice you.
Okay.
I have an idea.
Yeah, what do you think happened, Caleb?
This is your last penny, right?
Yep.
I think you, for the second time, run away. Oh. And this is like, it's a combination of whether or not it happens immediately or as soon as you like leave, it happens. That's what triggers your amnesia more than anything, is the crushing weight, the psychological weight of knowing your brother who you've idolized and like idealized and you're this like weird platonic way this in your entire life, or like on this like impossible pedestal, comes crashing down, and you just can't bear that trauma, and you just like maybe just leave as your mind is breaking, and then the next morning when you wake up, like you don't remember anything.
I like Caleb more.
I like it. There's one problem.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't addressed what I think of when I think of the handle of a knife pressed into my palm. The knife has not come up at all yet. Oh, no, it did. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was the first thing that happened.
In the,
yeah. Sorry, it's been so long. I am an amnesiac. I have already forgotten. Yeah, I like that. We're going with that. I run away. This time I don't pee my pants because I'm a big boy, but I do lose my memory because I'm still a scaredy boy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so when you think of the handle of a knife pressed into my palm, you remember the day you realized your brother was alive.
When I think of I think of the morning I skipped coffee. I pressed into my palm. I think of
nice tune there. The knife pressed into my palm.
I remember when I lost my mind.
Oh yeah, I get this last penny here.
Oh, whoops. The day I found out my brother was alive and was my real target.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay. Cool.
And then here, let me check real quick. I don't think we answer the. Well, no, yeah. So where is the target now? I guess is the question. Yeah, that's still a relevant question.
So I go ahead and answer that one.
I think so. Yeah, there's a last question below that we do once everybody's is done, but Is the idea that like where's the target now? He got away and you don't know, like, or do you remember now? What do you think?
I think he's ruling Columbia from the shadows.
There you go. Yeah, so he's still there.
So I was right in that he was just knocked out.
True.
Yep.
That's been a fun thing in this one is like they a lot of our double-sided answers end up both being true.
Yeah.
All right, Seth.
So that last penny I gave to Seth, or did I give it to
I
you?
already, yeah, I grabbed it and then I just gave you one from the last stack. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Seth, it's you.
Hey, give me a second. I started a Pokemon game, now I gotta complete it so I can play. I was expecting you to get more of it. Okay, so I gotta roll first, and it's gonna be really funny if I get my last one that I haven't gotten yet. No.
The ocean washing over my feet.
This is one of mine, but it is not okay. I'm not gonna say my last one. This is another one of mine. Did I get all mine?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, all the ones I got were mine.
It'll be fun
Okay.
after this to go through all of them.
So, Jordan, what is my first question?
Were you surprised when your mentor actually agreed to marry you?
Of course. It was very surprising, and I couldn't be happier.
Were you disappointed, however, when Mission Control informed you that your honeymoon would be a mission in and of itself, protecting your wife from the triads?
Yeah, and while I wasn't looking forward to it, it was kind of nice that our honeymoon was a mission together.
Did you find your wife's beach attire rather distracting?
This is not about the mission. Trying to get ideas for the mission, and you're asking me about beach attire.
Well, so I was implying by my question that the only mission was that you guys were already kind of going on your honeymoon, and the Mission Control was just like, the triads are still after her. You have to keep her protected, like be on guard, as opposed to you on some sort of other thing that you're doing. It's literally just your regular honeymoon, but you have to like be on waiting for the triads to show up.
I just try to think of a direction to take this now. Yes. And unfortunately, it drew a little too much attention.
I don't know about you guys, but I just been imagining the mentor as like Chinese the whole time. I don't know why. I guess
I have not.
Yeah, she's just been Asian in my mind.
I know exactly who I had in mind the whole time.
Who?
Scarlett Johansson, because I kept thinking Black Widow.
Yeah, I mean, it's fair.
I was thinking just some generic brunette. So yeah, not everyone's honeymoon gets to be such a high stakes one.
Wait. Hold on, I need to.
What are you looking up?
So, can I change my thing to? Were you both enjoying the beaches of Colombia?
Yes. Yeah. Of course. Yeah. Of course. Yeah. We have to do it. You have to do it.
Yes, and
Yay!
we thought we would actually be safe there. We were wrong though. So yeah, we were.
The triads and the Colombian government are behind it all along.
We're hanging out at the beach, mostly nice. Every once in a while we hear random gunshots coming from a hotel, but
but it's not our hotel, so it's fine.
We're outside, doesn't matter. Yeah, it was really nice. Okay, is Colombia actually a tourist spot? Where is it?
I think it is. I mean, most South American countries are.
Oh no!
I specifically looked up to see if Colombia had a nice
tourist beach.
Oh yeah, there's
Colombia
plenty of
beach
beautiful
vacation.
beaches.
Cartagena, Santa Marta. Sure, we'll say we're in
Colombia
Santa
has some
Marta.
of the most incredible beaches in South America.
I was just checking.
There you go.
So we'll say we're in San Andres. No,
San Andres or Santa Marta.
I think San Andreas. I think
yeah,
which I guess is kind of
San Andres as opposed to Andreas.
I know, but still, it's what I think. So Santa Marta. We'll say we're in Santa Marta. We're walking down the beautiful beach. It's really wonderful. New bride looks amazing.
Supposed to be the old bride.
Don't you just love that new bride smell?
Let's not talk about the smell of new brides. Let's not go there.
Listen, Em can never watch this.
And I would also like to add I would like to add to that. Carly can never watch this.
Yeah.
And
honestly, this should just be deleted forever.
In the off chance that Seth and I ever get married, our wives are also never allowed to watch this.
That's patreon.com.
Caleb Powers.
Oh, it hurts.
Oh boy. There's so many timestamps written down.
Compilation of us saying no one can ever watch this.
Yeah. I'll just clip all those moments together. But I won't clip what we said to make us laugh. It'll just be a bunch of like.
But that's gonna make people watch it.
Yeah.
That's your real goal.
You should upload it. Here's the thing: you should clip everything, upload it as a compilation, and then remove all of those clips from the actual video.
That's pretty funny.
Anyway, so we're walking down the beach. We see as we're walking down the beach, trying to be careful, try not to be too paranoid, don't want to just see every single
man.
Huh?
You don't want to shoot the ice cream man?
Don't want to see like every single Asian person as a threat, stuff like that. But there is at one point I see some people that are looking a little bit shady. And Caleb, what do I do?
Not the slim kind.
Sorry, you look at what?
I do see a group of what looks like Asian thugs approaching. What do I do?
Well, you obviously don't want to be, stereotyping people, so you let them approach and try to strike up a friendly conversation with them to gauge whether or not they are indeed shady.
Is that what I do, Jordan?
I'm going to give you another option, but I promise Kayla's is going to be better because mine's stupid.
I think everything's stupid so far this night.
I think you just trying to play into this stereotype that you're dumb and you're not the target and you don't know anything. You go, "Hey, are you guys Yakuza or what?"
Yeah, I'll go with Caleb's.
You're gonna go, yeah, go with Caleb's. Yeah, please do.
Because they would know who we are at this point.
Probably.
I try to strike up some friendly conversation. And it seems to be going well. When all of a sudden, from behind, people we weren't expecting grab whatever I named her.
I don't think we've named her.
Ago.
Yeah.
Well, I gave her some
Quincy is her last. But her name probably changed, right? Because
oh, right.
That was just her last name. So
someone grabs her and starts dragging her away. And we're on a beach. I was trying to be safe, but I didn't exactly, we've probably been out for like a week and nothing has happened. So I didn't bring like I'm wearing swim trunks. I don't have a place to store a gun. So
But you
I don't.
got this one and that one. You know what I'm saying?
But yes, I do have those. And how on that note, actually, Jordan, how do I respond to them starting to drag her away?
First of all, I would just like to state that I think Seth's character's last name should be Shinigami. And for anybody that gets that reference, anyway.
I don't.
Yeah, and I know neither of you are going to because neither of you watch the show I'm referring to.
What is the show you're referring to?
Bleach. So in Bleach, there are Quincy's who hunt Soul Reapers, and then there are Soul Reapers who are also called Shinigami.
Okay.
So she's going from a Quincy to a Shinigami. That's what I'm.
Okay.
That's the joke. Now that I've explained it, it's not funny. Not that it was in the first place.
Anyway, what do I do? How do I respond to them doing it me without firearms?
Did you establish that they had firearms?
They don't seem to have them either. Because this is like
they've grabbed
we're all in swim trunks on a beach.
Yeah,
and they've grabbed her and they're taking her away.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good thing that you spent your last several months your LGN diet was a healthy dose of learning every martial art you could possibly take so that you can kick the crap out of anyone who tries to mess with your woman. And you unleash every bit of it.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Sorry, Caleb, but
that's fine.
I'm also tired. It's just cool. It's a cool fight scene. Yeah, we have a super cool fight scene, choreographed by cool people. I can't remember.
Bruce Lee or Jackie Chan.
Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, Jet Li, Jean-Claude Van Damme.
We're able.
Who played Qui-Gon Jinn?
Oh, Liam Neeson.
Yeah, Liam Neeson.
They have like a bunch of punches and kicks are thrown, throw sand at people. The wife joins in on it.
You said throwing sand at people, and I'm just imagining like happy anime go lucky beach episode where everybody's laughing and throwing stuff at each other.
And yeah, I'm able to actually take them down and I don't know where to take this. The only thing I can think of is like her getting shot, but You
said you managed to take all of them down. Did you?
I mean, I established that from you saying I beat them up with every single form of taekwondo.
Jordan said you unleash every single bit.
Okay, yeah, that's a good point. Right? Do I beat them all up? Yeah, Caleb.
I think you beat up most of them, certainly. But part of the issue is that they, the triads, did have like a knife like strapped to their inner thigh or something. Right, a couple of them do. So it turns from a martial art fight, which you are winning, to a knife fight, which you are losing. Especially given your last escapade with knives, you're a little hesitant to go in without even your guns will not be good enough in a knife fight. And so yeah, you're kind of keeping your distance, trying to gauge the best moment to like actually try to do something about these knife wielders. And that's the moment when you realize that a motorboat is pulling up to a dock, and it's only a matter of a few minutes, like a minute, like 60 seconds or whatever, before they're going to have her on that boat and be able to drive away. And so I think you obviously aren't going to let them take your wife without a fight. You go for it anyway. You try to use your martial arts and just get stabbed and then left on the beach bleeding, and they get away with your wife. Obviously, Jordan might have another idea, but
what did you have a different idea, Jordan?
My idea was everything that Caleb said up to the point where you get stabbed.
Perfect.
And you're left there. But instead what happened is you intentionally let yourself get stabbed so you can take the knife and start using it on them. and then you start to turn the tides, and you start fighting and making your way to your wife.
That's cooler. I'm going with that.
Yeah, maybe we even see like you like because of your hand, right? You had like the tip of your finger lost before. Maybe you just let them like stab directly into your hand, and you just grab the knife that way and just
Yeah, I like this. So I fight them, intentionally get stabbed, so I can grab the knife away from them. Bleeding all over the beach. You know, a bunch of people on the
screaming.
People on the beach are just screaming because they're seeing people get punched and stabbed. And then the police show up. The Colombian police. This is
the corrupt Colombian police.
I was intentionally not trying to tie this in with everything. Now we need to do an RPG where we're all spies and actually like finishing all our missions. So yeah, the police show up, and I think we all just get taken in because obviously we're fighting. They actually have, guns. They can do that.
Do they get away with your wife though? Do some of the people get away in the motorboat?
No, we all get taken in.
Okay, all right.
All get taken in. I get treated, for being for bleeding. So they stopped me from bleeding.
What is this guy's medical condition? Yeah, he's bleeding. So he is stabbed. No, just bleeding.
There's no wound. There's no wound at all. Blood's just coming out.
Bleeding.
Like there's just blood seeping out from his pores. It's kind of weird. It's like he's sweating blood out of his arms.
Sweaty blood.
Blood, sweat. And then there's tears and
blood, sweat, tears.
Blood, blood, sweat.
Blood, sweat, and pee tears.
You're peeing out tears.
Blood, sweat, and pee is the name of this episode.
Blood, sweat, and pee.
And Seth is broken.
Can we dub this as the official weirdest episode we've ever
This is a pretty weird
recorded?
episode, yeah.
I don't think we've recorded weirder in 5 years.
Well, yeah, maybe in 5 years. Main RPG is pretty much by definition always weirder. But
this is
right,
this one is not the game that's weird. It's everything that's happening outside the game. Like the actual story is normal.
our weird commentary.
Yeah, we all get taken in by the police, and the police they leave me in there for a while, and finally they come in. And it seems that they know who I am. They know I'm a government agent. They know they have some idea of why I'm here. And they give me an ultimatum. They can essentially tell me I can tell them what I know and get my wife back and leave, or stay here and rot in a cell. What do I do next, Caleb?
This is the Colombian police asking you this?
Yes, because everything has to be in Colombian.
Well, I mean, I feel like you obviously don't tell them anything, but that unfortunately means that they take your wife away. And I think they let you go eventually because they know that they have nothing really to pin on you. You're just kind of defending yourself. But they're
well, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and they keep your wife on the claim that she's like some sort of threat to national security or something, and you end up on the side of like the police station, with no wife on your honeymoon, and so you have to find a way to like break her out or something.
Is that what happened, Jordan? It really doesn't matter who I give pennies to at this point because Caleb's next.
Well, I was gonna say, if you give more pennies to me, then more beats will have to happen for me.
That's true. That's true. Jordan, have a cool idea.
So the ultimatum that they gave you was spill the beans, or you get separated from your quiff.
Yeah.
I think you spill a can of fake beans. I think you think pretty quickly on your toes,
Mm-hmm.
and you're able to give a really well written and well documented explanation of what's going on. Something that the organization had already set up for this as a contingency for this kind of situation. Um,
Yeah, I think we'll go with that. I think the agency knew, given certain other agents that were doing things in Colombia, that there was a lot of corruption going on here. So there's a chance that if they got involved, that there would be a need to say something. So they give me a list of lies that I can give out that will be somehow corroborated, which is enough to get us out of there, but also because essentially they said that the ultimatum was like, yeah, we'll take care of we'll keep the people away from you and send you back and like get them off your back if you tell us what we want to know, essentially. And so we do that. We give them the lie, and the wife she had known similar things, so our information matches up. So they they are able to let us go out scot-free. And in a sense, killing two birds with one stone, getting the Colombians off the track that they need to be, and also getting us home, and then getting the Chinese incarcerated, the triads incarcerated, not just random Chinese people. And then we head home and spend the rest of our honeymoon doing what, Jordan?
What
Because
you
I'm out
do
of
on
ideas.
honeymoons. Yeah.
You spend the rest of your honeymoon playing Parcheesi.
Parcheesi it is. And I can't think of anything.
Come on.
What,
That's
what
lame.
is your idea, Caleb?
I was gonna say that Jordan's brother shows up and shoots your wife in the head.
Okay.
Parcheesi it is.
Can I say, because I didn't realize you were actually
An actual.
can I say an actual thing though?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So my thought, right?
Because this is the thing. You still need the reason for your amnesia, Seth.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
And I actually have a thing for this.
You can't just go off into the sunset yet.
Not yet, but I think I have it.
Huh.
So I think you make it through your honeymoon evening, and next you're waking up early the next morning. It's a slow start to the morning, and very early there's a crash in the nearest window. You hear a helicopter. Well, first you hear a helicopter. You hear a crash. There's an explosion. You lose your sight. As you are starting to regain some of your sight, you see, and like you lose your hearing for a moment. As you're regaining your sight and your hearing, you hear your wife screaming and struggling, and you see her being taken through a ladder that's fallen through the window, and she's being dragged out onto the ladder and outside, up through a helicopter. And then there is another thing that is shot through a window. There's an explosion, and you go out.
What was the ethnicity of the person who took her?
Colombian or Chinese, the only options.
It was Russian.
No!
The Russian mob, right?
Yeah.
No, or the Italian mob or something. No, the American mob. It was the Crips. No, Crips with a helicopter.
The helicopter's got low rider stuff on it.
Low rider helicopter. No, I think.
I hate it so much.
It's like a helicopter with the blades on the bottom.
Oh no, guys. Alyssa's in chat right now. She said, OMG, what is happening?
Oh, jeez.
Oh, she must be in the YouTube chat because I'm on Twitch. Nothing's happening, Alyssa. Everything is normal. It's fine. You can go.
Everything is awesome. Anyway, so the helicopter is going up, and you catch a very brief glimpse of a well-dressed Colombian individual and standing next to a well-dressed Chinese individual.
So
They were working together all along.
They're in Chinese. They're in Colombian Chinatown.
Yeah, all this has actually been happening in Colombia the entire time. Yeah.
Okay, this is where it triggers my amnesia. So when I think of feeling
of the ocean.
ocean washing, what was it?
Over
my feet.
Alyssa says, "You guys are ridiculous. I'm glad you're making Caleb uncomfortable, though."
Oh, you have no idea. How much have you seen?
Where did you start watching, Alyssa?
I have no idea. Yeah.
So when I think of feeling ocean, I remember losing my honeymoon and my wife.
I think she's only like 2 minutes ago. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. You don't need to watch anything else. Where's my target now? Colombian Chinatown.
Oh boy. All right, let's wrap this up, shall we?
Yes, please.
Memory trigger. That was the one you wanted, Seth. Yeah. Intro music to an anime. Okay.
You know what's really funny? After I put all of the ones that I wrote, I thought to myself, it would have been awesome if I had put something like scenes from anime or something like that. Or, it was the thought that I had was the sight of anime women.
Okay, so recall your last mission and the trigger of your amnesia. Seth? Help. What does this mean? We can ask Jordan first, too.
Yes, please.
Okay, good. What do you think, Jordan?
All right.
I'm in a giggle fit.
Ask me a question.
Okay. When you think... okay.
Oh, did you know Colombians make anime too?
Did you know? No.
South American.
There are Mexican weebs. They do exist. It's a good thing I did not tell my nephews about tonight.
Were you surprised at how big of a cult following your voice actor wife had?
Well, she was
did.
Had. Yeah.
Wasn't she also like a storefront like owner or something like that?
Well, it was an anime store, apparently. I mean, it could fit, but it does seem like a stretch.
Yeah, never mind.
You can re-roll that if you want to. It's like I just kind of put it in because it was funny.
It's up to you, Caleb. If you want to try to work it in, we can figure something out.
I had an idea for it, but it is up to you guys to give me these questions. So
okay. I got something. So, did you and your wife watch Attack on Titan together? Here's something simple.
Yes, and we both were completely desensitized to violence because of it.
That's why you were desensitized to violence.
One of the many reasons, I'm sure.
Did your wife relate very heavily with
Annie?
What's her name from? Huh?
Mikasa?
No.
Mikasa, Annie, Potato Girl.
No. Not from that anime.
Oh.
I was thinking from creepy Steam game,
If you more
anime
specific.
fake dating sim.
Monica.
Toki
Okie dokie.
Monica.
Yeah, Monica. I was gonna say, did your wife relate very well to Monica? But it was mainly a joke.
It honestly does seem like this whole thing is still a joke. So, do we want me to do a different memory trigger?
Yeah.
Go ahead. I thought it would be fun at first, but it doesn't make.
If that one hit earlier,
I don't think it makes any sense. Yeah.
Yeah. If it hit.
The sound of water dripping slowly.
Ooh.
This one's mine.
So, do you who's starting the question with this? Is it Seth or me?
I can
Seth.
I can start. Let me just think. There's a couple ways I could take this.
The first inclination I had with this when I wrote it down was the Chinese water torture or whatever, but
I mean, we have had Chinese in this, so it could work. Oh, I had something in my head for a second. This wasn't the first time you tried to drown yourself, was it?
Yep, and it won't be the last.
Was it hard to find meaning and purpose after losing your wife?
It was hard to find meaning and purpose after killing so many people by the end of everything I've done. After my wife died, I just became a killing machine. That's all I knew how to do. And when the dust had settled, the only person left to kill was myself.
You thought this was going to be your final mission, didn't you?
Yes. And that's the only reason that I couldn't go through with it. One last mission, and then it would be all over.
You can tie the anime into it if you need some more of a trigger to start with.
No. I like it. I think
Okay.
I am sitting in the bathroom of a hotel room, just listening to the faucet drip slowly. I've already drained the bathtub, tried to drown myself in it, tried to just lay down, face into the ground, put something heavy on my neck to make it impossible for me to lift my head. But after a moment or two, my training kicked in and I managed to get it off and couldn't go through with it. It seems that the only thing I'm good at is staying alive and killing.
Those are the sounds of the screams of my victims.
And I'm sitting there just knowing I have one last person to kill. And I don't know, who is this person and what do I do about it?
Maybe
who is my last target?
Maybe it's Jordan's brother.
I was thinking
tie it
of
all
that,
together.
But like, what happens if I kill him? Then Jordan's isn't.
That's
right?
true.
I'm just trying to think if there even is another character that makes sense for it to be.
It could be someone from the
I know it is.
Okay.
And I can decide this because this isn't about something I'm doing. So
this is something given to you, yeah.
Exactly. My last target is the director of the CIA. Things turned all the way around. I realized that the corruption was far, far bigger than anyone had ever thought. criminal organizations from all over the world were being funded and channeled as weapons by the United States government itself. We created our own enemies to fight meaningless wars for power and money, prestige, to give our people the illusion that we were doing something meaningful, when in reality it was all a shadow play. It was all a game. And I wasn't going to play it anymore. And sure, I would die as soon as that bullet hit that man's skull, but it was the only thing I knew how to do anymore. It was the only thing that made any sense anymore. Kill the man who had made me do all of this. End the cycle of violence, at least for me. And what was my plan, Jordan? How was I going to kill him?
So you set it up so the person who, like, your mission person is the person who...
Basically, this is like a self-given mission where I realized, like I think my target that was given to me was like your brother, and the explanation of who this person was the person responsible for all of the things that have been happening. But I figured out, actually, the person who is responsible for all these things happening is you, my friend, is you, the boss. I need to kill you. You're responsible for all this. So I'm fulfilling my mission parameters according to how they were given to me.
I think the way that you handle this is by giving the information of, like, giving all of your boss's information, leaking it all to my character's brother and to the triads.
Yeah. Yep, I agree. I set into motion a series of leaks and what's the word? Leaks and funnels and channels by which information is given to the people who need to know. And it's not so much that the triads and the Colombian government want to kill the director of the CIA, but they're just given opportunity to strike a blow at someone who is fomenting all of the problems that they have. These regimes were created by the U.S. government, and they're being snuffed out by the U.S. government. And these two organizations just want to end the cycle of violence for themselves as well. And so, yeah, I set in lots of text messages and videos and information in general leaked to the right ears and eyes. And in a matter of time, the CIA, the director of the CIA did happen to be visiting Colombia for one reason or another just at the time this went off. And I don't know if he immediately gets killed. That's probably, I guess I do get to decide that. The plan should have gone out without a hitch. Let's say that. But the director was more clever than I gave him credit for being. He managed to escape the initial trap that the triads and the Colombian government had set up for him, and he managed to find his way to a safe house. Unfortunately, I knew about that safe house, and he didn't know that I was the one who had set all of these chains, all of these events into motion. What was my plan B, Jordan? Or Seth? Seth, what was my plan B?
Well, you were waiting in the safe house, or waiting for him, because if he didn't show up, he was taken care of, and if he did show up, you were going to take care of him.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're going to give him like a bottle and a blanket and just like rock him to sleep.
Yeah, of course. And so I'm sitting there, chair turned away from the door as he enters this small apartment that constitutes a safe house. And I turn around, silenced pistol in my hand, pointing it at his chest. And he knows that he's made a mistake. I sit there And what do I do, Jordan?
Right now.
I think you give him. I think you ask him why.
Tell me why.
Why any of this, I say? Why even go through the charade? Is it all about money and power? Is it just a way to keep you on the government's payroll, give you a fat life? He says, pretty much. And then I shoot him. Or do I? Seth?
I think you want to shoot him, but you shot your mentor, you shot your wife, and now your boss is in front of you, and you just have this gut feeling in your gut that you want to, and you're just telling yourself that this will fix it, this will make everything better. But you just know there's a deep part in your gut that tells you that it won't.
And I have 2 pennies left, but if you guys are fine with this, I think I'll use them up both here in this moment because I think I have the ending.
Mm-hmm.
I think I shoot myself.
Yeah, that makes sense.
No.
Oh.
I don't shoot myself. I click a button, and the whole safe house blows up. No one knows, and this is why I have amnesia and have been brought in to do this all. No one knows I did any of this, right? They just found us both in an exploded safe house, and he's dead, right? The director did die. So that's the answer. Where's the target now? He's dead. He's in a 6-foot grave, right? But I was barely alive, and the U.S. government is like trying to figure out like what did happen, like why did this happen the way it did. So when I think of the sound of water dripping slowly, I remember the evening I killed the director of the CIA. Where is the target now? In a 6-foot grave. And this is the last question to be asked of us in A Penny for My Thoughts. Priority response. Will you continue to work for us? If so, your first mission will be to retrieve the target. Otherwise, we will re-induce your amnesia and redacted, 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 redacted.
I don't think they'll let you work for the CIA anymore. Now that you renounced that. I mean, I would. I gotta go find wifey. And then buy a dog. And then retire.
Play Parcheesi.
And then get dragged back into this after they kill my wife finally.
In the
and
sequel.
Then become a killing machine with 4 movies.
Yep. All right. Seth will continue to work for the U.S. government and will go to retrieve his wife. Jordan? This is the thing. We all you two know we're all doing this at a session together. You guys are all aware of what I found out too.
Yeah, that's why I'm like,
I think it makes sense that Seth would keep working for them, but
yeah. Although Big Boss Man is dead.
Maybe things change around here.
Maybe so. Wait, so what is your character doing, Caleb?
I haven't decided yet.
Okay, because I have a thought for all 3 of our characters.
Yeah.
I think
take over the CIA.
Well, basically, is like we say, yeah, we're going to continue to work for it, and the person that is like our boss, the person that's in charge of us, is now you.
I agree.
Why does the person who killed the head of the CIA become the head of the CIA?
Because I have so much dirt.
He has so much dirt. He exposed the corruption, and like he was able to like basically get some of these organizations to, like, he has enough on these organizations and how they operate now, because he was working with them to try to set this whole thing up. Yeah, I think it makes sense. And he's also freaking experienced.
Very true. Here's the question, though. This is the final question, right? Do I just become even worse than the old CIA director, or do I somehow manage to turn it around?
I mean, I don't think you do all of that and be a good person.
I agree. That is the right answer to this. Yeah, I just become even more what I have always hated. And, the CIA is the U.S. government is even worse than we could imagine.
And I become John Wick.
And I don't pee my pants anymore.
Well, so yeah, if you do decide to work for us, Jordan, right, your first mission will be to retrieve the target, right? Is it? So this is the thing. We all got our amnesia from different things. For me and Seth, it was physical trauma. For you, it was psychological trauma. This is the real question. Would you go after your brother?
I think going after him at this point might mean establishing a positive connection between the Colombian group that he works for Colombian presidency and the CIA. So I think retrieving him might mean more like, instead of killing him or going and getting him and bringing him, it might be like,
I mean, given what we just decided about my character, I don't think it is. I think he's just murdering him because that's like...
Okay.
Jordan, I know how you reconnect with your brother. I sent it in the group chat. This is a positive connection.
Brother, may I have some loops?
Up to the Colombian government. It's like, I'm here for my brother. I desire noobs.
What is this?
Oh, you've never seen that meme?
No!
It's a classic. But there's so many memes.
May I have some loops?
When you said positive connection with your brother, that was the first thing that popped in my head.
I like it, though. So I think he's done running from it, and I think he is going to go after him.
Is he, though? Is he?
Yes, he is.
Just said, you don't get to just decide what he does now.
No, Caleb decides what he does now.
Exactly. Yeah, go kill him right now.
Okay, I won't leak anymore.
All right, and then me as the Reaper in charge of the U.S. counterintelligence service, just kills everyone. The end. The world descends into World War III, and everyone dies.
The end.
Except for you, Seth. I'll let you have a happy ending. There you go.
Thank you.
You retire on an island somewhere.
The one happy ending my character ever gets in these games.
Yep. Well, that was a wacky, weird adventure.
Was it?
Yep. Well, thanks for coming along on this journey with me. And this has been a penny for my thoughts. Let's see if there's any. I think they have like a last thing you're supposed to read off. Let's find it real quick. Where is this? When you get to the end, everyone has completed the 3 sections of their questionnaires. Now, so it's everybody has the final section that they have to do. Your session is now ended. Those of you who chose to remember should have your memories intact. Those who did not will find that you have forgotten the session entirely. We here at the Institute hope everything has gone well for you. Please join hands and repeat together one final time. A penny for my thoughts. This will be our signal
for my thoughts.
This will be our signal that you're finished, and for the nurse to come and assist you. This has been a penny for my thoughts. Thanks for playing, guys.
Yeah.
I don't know what next week is going to look like.
That would be a lot less weird than this.
Yeah, end schedule is still up in the air, I think. But yeah, we'll find out next time. Hopefully, we can do some Terra Invicta. But no matter what we do, at least we'll be together.
That was so cheesy.
Have a good night.
Bye.